Mike, obviously you lost two players for the year in that game. First off, you talk about Derek and Diego and the disappointing news.
Oh yeah, it's really disappointing. The next guy's got to step up and go. Derek's our biggest, strongest outside linebacker, good player for us, great leader. And then of course Diego, y'all seen what he's been doing. So we'll have a kicking contest all week to see who's going to kick field goals, extra points, kick off, all that type of stuff. So we'll decide on that on Friday.
Is that going to be between Chris and Davis Price?
Yes. Okay. Yep. So they'll be just working on it and going. We did some today, and we'll just do it all week. Total at the end and see who's ready to go.
Is it possible you would split up those duties?
It depends on how they do. Who kicks off the best, who kicks field goals the best. If one of them dominates in both areas or vice versa, one's one in good area, we can switch it up, yes. We're going to see how the contest goes this week.
You get NJ Follow back at outside linebacker?
NJ Follow, that helps with Derek being down. So NJ will be back. He was out practicing today. He's been practicing on the scout team, but he's on the first and second field.
Can you give us an update on Cepho?
He was moving around better today than he was yesterday. It'll be just kind of day to day as the week goes along.
Coach, what's your message to the team this week after coming back from Michigan and get banged up after a disappointing loss?
Well, same thing. Every Monday, win or lose, we come back and prepare as hard as we can for the next game. They'll be excited. It's our first Pac-12 game. We're going to go play at Oregon, and of course they're a great team. So our guys, we had an excellent practice today. I didn't see anybody moping around or going. They were practicing hard and fresh. And plus, beautiful day in Boulder kind of helps that also.
So did Cepho practice at all?
No, he didn't practice.
With his history, and he's a tough guy, a warrior type of guy. Is he one that you really have to monitor him and maybe make him sit down?
If he's moving good enough to play, we'll play him. If he's not moving good enough to play, then we won't play him. Mm-hmm. So we'll know as the week goes along on that.
What's your impression of just how good he's been this year? I mean, some of the throws he made in that game.
Well, the throw he made on a hurt ankle was a dynamic throw,
right.
He was playing really well and at a high level. Seems like that's happened to us twice now. The USC game and that game the other day, we had some momentum, and then he goes down. So we just got to go. Steven Montez had a great spring and a good fall. So he's played in all 3 games now. So he'll be ready to roll. I think I feel good about Steven's capabilities. Guys got to do it in the game.
What's been the biggest improvement you've seen in Devin Ross that's allowed him to start as kind of as special as he has so far this year?
Catching the ball consistently. That's it. He's always had everything else, and he's catching the ball consistently. Everybody's going to drop one every once in a while. That's just the way it is. It's being able to get over that and go make the next one, not go in the tank. And he's been able to do that, so that's been impressive how he's been, able to overcome when he drops one and then go catch the next one and make some good over-the-head catches. So just catching the ball.
Was that a lot more of a mental adjustment he had to make, or was it mechanical things he did? Or
it was a combination, mentally, a lot of it mentally, and then sometimes the ball over his head, he would keep his hands too low, and you got to keep you don't want to. So we've moved his hands up. If you notice, he's catching a little bit higher. If y'all noticed that on the over the head, so a combination of those two. But you have to practice that so much because in the heat of the battle, you might revert back. So he's really gotten good at that.
Coach, twice we've seen Cepho Lufau get hurt, stay in and throw a touchdown pass of his career in Rocky Mountain Showdown and Saturday against Michigan. What does that say about him?
Yeah, he's just exceptionally tough. I think when he got up and his ankle was hurting and he saw the play signal in, he didn't want to come out because he knew we had an opportunity because of what they were lining up in. We had talked about that was going to be there at halftime, and so we had prepared for that. And I think he knew, hey, it's going to be there. But he's extremely tough, and he's a competitor.
You had a really tough day on the punt team the other day. After you've watched it on film, are there big changes need to be made, or are there little things you guys feel you've corrected?
Well, we definitely need to correct. The first one was just a miscue. Then after that, we didn't kick it right, and then they kind of got on a roll a little bit. They did a good job blocking us. That's the first time we've been up against athletes like that covering, and then of course he's an excellent returner. That helps on their part too. So yeah, we work on it every Monday, and we've worked on it and made a couple changes and made sure we're more precise at everything. So we didn't have any issues the first 2 games whatsoever. So we'll correct it and be doing good on it the rest of the year.
Will you stick with that rugby style of punting? That it was kind of like line drives right to peppers.
Yeah, that was something we have to work on. We'll do that every once in a while because you can move the pocket so they can't just rush in there on you. But we need to coach it a little bit better, and it would help us for sure.
Do you foresee similar pressures from Pac-12 teams in the future here?
Oh yeah, everybody copies everything, and so that we'll see similar pressures for sure. We'll work on them and we'll block them and we'll kick it away good.